The HOA president sprayed a chemical in my service dog's face, not realizing she had just committed a federal crime. My dog, Bear, is my medical necessity, a Labrador retriever trained to alert and respond to my disability. We moved to Parkwood Glen for its quiet paths. The HOA chair, a woman named Diane, saw him as a problem, not a partner. Her campaign against us started with letters and ended with an act of cruelty that crossed a legal line. Where are you tuning in from? Share your country below. The first notice arrived within a week. All animals require board approval and community registration. I responded lightly, citing the Americans with Disabilities Act. Diane's reply was a single line: community standards take precedence. The harassment was bureaucratic at first. Fines for my garbage can lid being ajar, a citation because Bear's outdoor water bowl was an unapproved fixture. I paid them, choosing peace over conflict. But Diane interpreted compliance as weakness. At the annual meeting, she proposed a new bylaw, a community animal fee of $500 per year. I stood and explained again that federal law prohibits fees for service animals. She cut me off. We make the rules here. If you don't like them, there's the door. The confrontation escalated days later. I was walking Bear on the public sidewalk bordering the community. Diane marched toward us, her expression tight. In her hand was a small bright orange spray bottle. "That animal is not compliant," she stated, non-stopping. "He's a service dog, Diane. He's working." I kept my voice level. She raised the bottle. "This is for community sanitation." Before I could react, she sprayed a stream of liquid directly into Bear's eyes and nose. Bear yelped, a sharp, pained sound, and recoiled, rubbing his face against my leg. My heart hammered. I dropped to my knees using the water from my bottle to rinse his face. His eyes were squeezed shut, watering heavily. "What is in that?" I demanded, my voice shaking with rage. "Just a harmless deterrent," she said smugly, clipping the bottle to her belt. "Maybe now you'll understand the rules apply to everyone." In that moment, my fear turned into cold, focused clarity. She hadn't just harassed me, she had assaulted a federally protected service animal. What happens when petty tyranny runs headfirst into the full weight of federal law? I pulled out my phone and started recording. "You just intentionally sprayed a chemical in my service dog. State your name for the record." Diane's smirk faltered. "Stop filming me. That's a violation of privacy." I have no expectation of privacy on a public sidewalk during a criminal act. I panned the camera to Bear's distressed face, then back to her, capturing the orange bottle on her hip. She saw a rule to be enforced. I saw a felony to be documented. I called 911. I need to report an assault on a service animal and a potential animal cruelty incident. While waiting, I called my vet for emergency advice. Diane stood her ground, arms crossed. "You're overreacting. It's citronella. It's harmless." "The intent is what matters," I said, "and your intent was to interfere with a working service dog. That's a federal offense under the ADA. 2 sheriff deputies and an animal control officer arrived. Diane immediately launched into her performance. "This resident is disruptive. His uncontrolled animal is a nuisance." The lead deputy, a serious-looking woman, listened. Then she turned to me. "Sir, your statement?" I handed her my phone with the video. Everything is there. The unprovoked spray, her admission, my dog's reaction. The deputy watched, her expression hardening. She then asked Diane, "Ma'am, is this your spray bottle?" Diane hesitated. "It's for pest control. I was within my rights as HOA chair to maintain standards." "Ma'am, you have no special rights to assault an animal, let alone a service dog," the deputy said. She consulted with the animal control officer, who examined Bear. His assessment: chemical irritant exposure, needs vet evaluation. The deputy turned back to Diane. "You are under arrest for interference with a service animal, a violation of federal law, and for misdemeanor animal cruelty." The words hung in the air. Neighbors had begun to gather, their phones out. "You can't be serious," Diane sputtered as the deputy guided her to the patrol car. "I'm the HOA chair. This is a misunderstanding." The district attorney can sort that out. The click of the handcuffs was audible in the sudden quiet.
Bear was rushed to the vet. He was treated for corneal irritation and given anti-inflammatory medication. He would be okay, but the violation was profound. The vet's report became a key piece of evidence. The legal process moved with surprising speed. The county prosecutor, armed with a video and the veterinary report, filed charges. Diane was facing counts under the state's animal cruelty statute and, more significantly, a federal complaint for violating the Americans with Disabilities Act. The HOA board convened an emergency meeting without her. Facing potential liability for her actions, they voted unanimously to remove her as chair and to formally adopt a policy explicitly recognizing federal service animal protections. In court, Diane's defense crumbled. Her claim of using harmless citronella was undermined by the vet's report detailing the injury. The video was damning. She was found guilty on both counts. The sentence was a wake-up call for the entire community. 6 months of probation, 200 hours of community service at an animal shelter, mandatory ADA training, and a $5,000 fine. A permanent injunction barred her from any HOA leadership position. She weaponized a spray bottle. The law weaponized her own arrogance. Bear and I still walk the paths of Parkwood Glen. The nods from neighbors are different now, respectful, even apologetic. The fear Diane cultivated has dissipated. Diane moved away shortly after her sentencing. Her house sold quickly. The lesson was etched into the neighborhood's memory. No amount of self-importance places you above the law, especially when you target the vulnerable. If you value stories where justice defends those who cannot always defend themselves, you're in the right place. Please support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing to Winds of Thought for more narratives about accountability and protection. Where do we draw the line between community standards and human decency? The law, it turns out, draws it very clearly.